The Arkansas River Valley is full of rich history that has been preserved over the years. Mount Olive Church in Van Buren shares in that history. We'll talk to owner Lacey Hendrix about her vision to see this history come to life. Then we will hear a heartwarming story from one mom who works with the Sebastian County Opiate Drug Task Force as a result of her experience with a family member who became an addict. Then we will talk to Clyde and one of his colleagues about strawberries in the winter. It's all coming up next on this episode of Go Fort Smith, sponsored by J. Pauley Toyota. History runs deep in western Arkansas. As the new owner of this small church nestled in downtown Van Buren, Lacey Hendrix has big plans to preserve the rich history of Mount Olive.
One of the really neat things about Mount Olive is how it has largely stayed the same and preserved all of these years since 1889. There's been a few different changes, like the stained glass windows have been changed out, but structurally the same. The original pulleys and the weights where you can lift up the windows are still there. Also, the bricks were all handmade, and as you can see behind me, some of those are exposed, but there's been some plaster over some of the others, but pretty incredible. $900 to build this beautiful structure. It's about 1,800 square feet. Also, the wood floors are original, and we still have the bell in the tower, and you can ring it, and we have a beautiful pole rope, which is pretty unique to this church. We hope that this building can continue to be a place for the community to come and be educated on the history of the African American journey and story. Mount Olive Methodist Church is typically agreed that it's the oldest African American Methodist church west of the Mississippi. And because of that, we really hope this can be a place where people can learn about the rich history of the African American community in Van Buren and in Crawford County, and also the significance of the Methodist Church here that had for many, many years, from 1889 to present day, was continuing to be a building for religious purposes. It is mostly agreed that this is probably the oldest African American Methodist congregation or church built west of the Mississippi. So it does have a very significant meaning to Crawford County, to Arkansas, and for African American history. And we hope to continue to preserve this building so it can be a place for the community to come and to learn about the history. We're eyesight to the train depot in downtown Van Buren, which makes a very cool trip for anybody who's coming to Van Buren and to learn about Crawford County history. We hope to be a part of that. Also, you could start at the church and hop on the train, and you could also head to the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester and see what we've got going on there. We really hope that people can take a historical journey to see what it was like in the late 1800s, and be able to see what the downtown area was like and the train depot, and what significance that had for people even traveling to Northwest Arkansas. Because of my own history here at Mount Olive, I have always loved this building and kind of been watching it through the years. When it came up for sale, we saw online that it was listed on a real estate site, and I was pleasantly surprised and kind of shocked, and instantly wanted to find out if this was something that I would be able to purchase. I'm a little bit obsessed with history. I have a couple of old buildings already and have learned so much about how buildings kind of outlive the people who usually build them, and they continue to be something that can be an incredible blessing to communities. And I think this church has a significant impact on this community and an incredible blessing for many, many years. It was built in 1889, so many, many years. And I think in this fast-paced world that we live in, it's really important to preserve history, to take a step back and to see where we've come from, to see what lessons we can learn from people who've come before us, and as we move forward to be a better society. So I think that Mount Olive is kind of the perfect place to continue bringing community in, to continue education, to continue to be a place of really, there's a lot of prayers that have been lifted up in this building, and I'm sure that some of them have not come to fruition, so I hope that we can be a part of that story too. We are still really searching for more history, more stories, any old photographs, anyone that attended Mount Olive and has a story they'd like to share. We would absolutely love to hear those. You can go to beardenladyinn.com and find a tab that says like Other Projects Mount Olive Church, and there will be an inquiry sheet that you could fill out, or email us. Just really looking to have everyone's story that's had some type of experience here, or even parents, grandparents that had told stories of Mount Olive. We would absolutely love to hear those and be able to share those with others.
Up next, one mom's story of how her family overcame her daughter's drug addiction, and now she's speaking out through the Sebastian County Opiate Drug Task Force.